Wow, I can't believe I'm able to take off my jacket at night. I haven't taken it off in days. You're getting used to the trail. Are you kidding? I'm still not used to walking this much. Well, at least we have a nice warm fire to keep us, safe and happy. Yeah, I think this is a good place to camp. Well, how do you guys normally spend your nights? I don't know, telling stories and stuff? Well, we could always talk about, our history and stuff. Well, tell us about yourselves. Well, I guess my dad went off to war a little while ago, and then my brother just left a few months ago. I've missed them so much ever since, but, that's why we're out here, to find my brother. My dad's still at war, but I just talked to him recently, so he's okay, but I don't know about my brother. Well, Dad left when I was young, and he died when I was about 10. We miss him a lot, like a lot. Died in battle, never saw him again. Kyla, if you think you miss Dad, you don't even know what I'm going through. Yeah, I guess you could say, well, my sister here went into depression when Dad died. Kind of a tough time, but it's how it is. What about your brother? Well, like Portland said, her brother left, and since her brothers are best friends, he went with them. And once again, we don't know where they are, if they're dead or alive. I thought you said you knew where we were going. Well, we know where we're going, but we don't know if they're, still alive. And what about you guys? You never told us your story. My story? I don't think you'd really want to hear about me. Well, we told you ours. Well, I guess, it all started back when I was just 12. Well, when I was 12 years old, my dad was working for the resistance. He didn't really get much money, but he was higher up in it than your guys' parents. He wasn't just a soldier, he was working. And one day, he had been back from a long journey out, and suddenly, when I was just sitting in the kitchen, these men busted in. It was loud, and then this man was in a room, and my mother tried to shield me from him. He confronted my dad and said a lot of things about treason. I didn't know what it was, but my mother told me to get out of there and run as far as I could. And I guess I just listened, because there was my dad shoved up against a wall with a man I never knew, so I got up and ran. He must have been convicted of treason. I don't know why, but I just ran away, and after the gunshot, I never looked back. That was the last I ever saw of my parents, but the gunshots were a telltale sound that, there was nothing left to see. I miss them, but it's what you have. Heidi, I didn't know the reason you left was because you were an orphan. Well, maybe my mom's still alive, but I don't know, and I'm not about to go back and check. Besides, I have a family now. It's you girls. Heidi, that's so sweet of you. It's sweet of you for being there for me. Well, what about you, Jessie? What's your story? Do you want to hear about my story? Well, I just asked. Well, like Jessie's, mine started when I was pretty young, 13 years old, just a few years back. My family was dirt poor. There was, 8 kids to take care of, 2 parents, living in a tiny house, no food all the time, and I just felt terrible because I was the oldest, and my parents were young when they had me, and they just couldn't look after us all. It was a day when I was spending time with my siblings, laughing, taking care of them, when I came across my parents talking in the living room. They spoke about how they didn't have enough money, and I just sat and listened, and how they were going to have to fight to be able to keep us alive this winter. It was terrifying. I just couldn't believe that I was such a burden, even though they loved me so. I packed my bags, and out the door I went, forever. And that was that. And you never looked back? Not at all. I don't know what happened to my parents or any of my siblings. Hopefully I'll run into them one day along the road, because I did love them. That's why I left. I don't know if my parents think I'm dead or alive or what it is, but like Heidi, you guys are my family. But, Jessie, how did you and Heidi meet? Well, that's actually a really good story. Hold on there, Heidi. It's my turn to tell it. Fine, Jessie. Well, both of us are wandering about in the woods, I guess. Heidi had already been found by them. And Heidi, I guess you can tell that part. Well, I'd ran off, nowhere to go, 12-year-old kid. And the troop had actually stumbled across me. I thought they were going to kill me. I was huddling there in a pile of leaves with no one to turn to. There'd always been people coming through, but I didn't want to talk to any of them. They were all grown men, and who knows what they were going to do with me. And then the girls came across me, and Katie took me in and became one of their soldiers, and I never wanted to leave. I miss Katie. Well, Heidi'd already been part of it, and actually she was the one who came across me. I guess that's why we became so close, because we were also good friends, or we're also the same age. But I was walking, wandering, trying to find a new town to start myself up in, thinking I could get a job and live on my own at 13, because I guess I've always been kind of headstrong. And, well, Heidi came across me. Funny thing, though, we almost got in a fight the first time we ever talked. Heidi said, "What are you doing on our land?" And I said, "What do you think you're doing trying to boss me around?" And then we just kind of started to talk, and what do you know, we found out we had something in common. Neither of us knew what happened to our families and had to go. And Heidi asked if I wanted to join the girls' resistance. I've also always liked fighting, so of course I took up on the offer. And we've been friends with each other ever since then. I've never noticed before, but we all have kind of sad stories. It's kind of sad how we've all lost family members in one way or another. But we're soul sisters, I guess. It's kind of like we were supposed to end up together. Well, it's getting dark. Should we get to bed? Another long day ahead, girls. I kind of think we should. But we have to sleep here on the ground around a campfire? Well, let's be rational. It's not like we have another clubhouse to go in, now is there? Come on, princess. Put aside the manicure and deal with it, okay? I will not be subjected to this kind of attitude. Come on, sis. Let's just hit the hay and go to bed. What, is there literally hay for us to be sleeping on? Oh, this just keeps getting worse and worse. No, we're sleeping on the ground. No beds? The earth is our bed. Now, come on, let's just sleep, okay? Fine, whatever. Good night, everyone. Oh, sweet dreams. Good night. I don't touch anyone. Come on, Shay. Mom raised you to be tougher than that. Mom also paid for me to have a bed. Let's just go to bed, okay? It's an adventure, remember? A highly, highly uncomfortable one.